SMD Law is the official law firm of the Spartan Nation. Check them out on the interwebs at smdalaw.com or at 866-529-3537. No matter where you are in the state of Michigan, Upper Peninsula, Lower Peninsula, it doesn't matter. They have an office near you. So whether you need to send a letter to an annoying neighbor, or you're a criminal and you need defense, maybe you just have problems with elder law, check them out, smdalaw.com today. The official law firm of the Spartan Nation. Call them first, then you act.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back, Spartan Nation Radio. As always, each and every week, we're excited to bring in Coach Chris Creighton, a tremendous coach, great father, awesome husband. He's done a super job rebuilding Eastern Michigan University. Disappointing loss this weekend. I don't think anybody after a loss, says it's a good thing. Disappointing. They fall to 3-3, but man, so much left in the season, and this is a good football team. That's one mark of a good coach, is when you don't let one loss turn into two. I don't think that happens at Eastern Michigan. That's why I love Coach Chris Creighton. Let's bring him in. Coach, how are you, friend?
I'm doing good. Thanks, Hondo.
Coach, I'm just curious. Sometimes after a loss, I've heard coaches say you could kind of see it in our preparation. Sometimes it takes them by a shock. Did you kind of have any inkling leading up to the Ball State game, the kind of game that you would see, or did it surprise you a little bit?
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, we're not surprised at all. We prepared really well. Guys had great energy. We really asked for them after the Central game where we lacked some inspiration and passion, really challenged our guys. It was our best week of preparation. And really liked the mindset and the emotional makeup of our team on Saturday. Absolutely. Knew we were playing a good team. And whether other people think it, believe it or not, I'm not changing, my thoughts about our team and the MAC this season. And that is, if we play really good football, we've got a chance to win. And if we don't, then we'll lose. And so our prep was great. Our mindset, emotional makeup was really good. We turned the ball over 4 times. They turned it over once. For the first time all year, we had 9 penalties. We've been really good, really sharp that way. And then they were, I think, 7 for 14 on third down. So we really struggled on stop downs, and we were 2 of 13 on third down. We rushed the ball for 2.7 yards a carry, and they rushed for 4.2. With all of that, with 14 seconds left, we caught a pass in the end zone, which would have been the go-ahead score for the win. And about half of Arthur's foot was on the white line. It was out of bounds. So it's always hard to win. It's hard to win college football games. We did lots of things, I think, really well in terms of our preparation and being ready. But, I haven't been on too many teams or coached too many Saturdays where you turn the ball over 4 times, and win a game.
Coach, I said something in the press box at Wisconsin I'd like to ask you about. But I said it last week on the radio too, so I feel good that I said it before your game. I thought Ball State was better than what people thought. Am I wrong?
I don't know what people thought. I mean, that's the thing. It's like I don't understand that. I don't understand what people thought. I mean, if you look at this year, they played Indiana really close. They played North Carolina State really close. They crushed Fordham. They go and beat the defending champion NIU, coming back from 17-3 in a rainstorm. I don't know. If you're going back to last year, I'll tell you this: the 2 teams that I think finished at or near the bottom in the MAC are both the only 2 undefeated teams in the MAC right now. Ball State and Kent State.
Great.
Every other MAC team has a loss already, and we're only 1 or 2 games into the MAC. So
that's exactly the analysis I use. So good. I'm glad that we're on the same page here.
Yeah, so when you ask me what other people think, I have no idea. But I can tell you that, that's not how we felt.
I totally agree. We're talking to the great coach Chris Creighton at Eastern Michigan. Absolutely wonderful coach, and I can tell you as a personal friend of mine, tremendous man of faith, a great husband, a super dad. I just love him dearly. Coach, let's turn our attention now to Western Michigan. Nothing can get you more jacked up after a loss than coming into a rivalry week, an in-state rival with Western. Of course, we know Tim Lester. I'm just curious, I know you're not going to give us secrets, but what's your general impressions of Western's offense?
Yeah, they're explosive. I mean, they're really good. And I mean, to his credit, they've lost some folks, and are really just seem to be reloading. That's a sign of obviously a really healthy program. So I mean, they moved probably their best wide receiver, over to defense, and now have lost him to injury. But and then their stud freshman from last year transferred and all that. But they've got a young group of receivers, and they're just they're tearing it up. Really playing well, and obviously quarterback just is in control of the offense, and is very good at what he does. And I think their offensive line is the key. I think that they're very, very good. And then, with Bellamy, they've got a guy back there that can make anybody miss, and can, turn a broken play, into a 50-yard gain. So their offense is the best I've seen in our league this year. It's going to be a tall task.
Coach, can you break down their defense for us, please?
Yeah, we're watching those guys right now, and I mean, they're very athletic. They really run well. Defensive line has good size, good athleticism. They're coordinated, and then they just had, all the linebackers can run, and obviously the secondary can run. So they're good there too.
Coach, I want to ask you about rivalry games because I think they're fun. It's great for the fans. It's going to be an amazing atmosphere. For you, it's fun to coach every week. You can't look ahead. Fans can, media can, but players and coaches can't. But rivalry week, George Perlis used to always say, during rivalry week, you can just feel the energy. He goes, it's easier to coach because you almost don't have to get them jacked up. At times, you're almost hitting the brakes, telling them don't peak early. How much do you enjoy coaching during a rivalry week?
I love it. Yeah, no, I love it. I really do. And again, yeah, I really enjoy it. We recruit against these guys a lot. I think that they represent the west side of the state, and we represent the east side of the state. And know each other really well. We're proud of who we are, and they're proud of who they are. And, it's going to be a fun game.
Coach, halfway through the season, I got two more questions for you, and we'll get you out of here. What are you most pleasantly surprised with your team? What sticks out to you most that maybe was a biggest concern going into the year that you're now sitting back saying, man, that's a blessing. I'm glad that's turned out that way.
Gosh, it's a good question. I don't know that we've been, surprised by anything that really sticks out. I guess I would say, playing our first 3 games on the road, and those were all long trips, South Carolina, and then driving to Kentucky. It was a night game, got back at 6:30 in the morning. The next week we're driving 12 hours, 6 hours both ways to Illinois, and then that was an 11 a.m. kick. And so, for us to come, out of those 3 games at 2-1, I think that we felt good about that.
Coach,
how we were playing.
My last question is not a negative, and I know sometimes coaches go there, and I don't want you to. But maybe what is the biggest surprise that you didn't expect? Again, doesn't have to be a negative, but just maybe something. Okay, I'll give you an example. Last year there was an injury. And I remember Coach D'Antoni say, man, obviously you can't plan on injuries. Those have probably been the biggest surprise because you just can't plan. So I'm not looking you to go negative. I'm just asking what's maybe been a surprise that maybe an outlier you didn't see coming.
Well, I'll answer it this way, and it's part of the process and the progression, but if I've said, coming into this year, because, we recruit 365 days out of the year. So if I've said, coming into the year that, been to 2 bowl games in 3 years, that we're 2-0 versus the Big Ten in 2 years, that we have a team cumulative GPA of a 3.0, and that we're building and built a $20+ million end zone facility. If I've said that once, I've probably said it 500 times. And then you go 3-0 versus the Big Ten, and you're 3-1 with a bye week. Then going into MAC play, that's not what we're familiar with, and that's really, I don't want to say that's not who we are, because we want to be able to play good football and have really good records. Our edge.
I'm sorry, Coach, you're phone out. You said you lost what? Corner. I apologize. You said you lost what?
Well, I think we lost our edge in our underdog mentality, trying to prove the world wrong. And that was really subtle, and I still probably don't know how or what I would have done, differently. But it is, something I don't think, went well for us. So, if we're ever going to be successful consistently, that's going to have to be something that we're going to have to learn how to deal with. But it didn't go well, for us after that Illinois game, Central Connecticut, and then Central Michigan.
I'm going to tell you guys this. One of the great things, if you are an Eastern fan, is transitioning from underdog to being one of the halves. There's nobody I'd want at the command better than Chris Creighton. One of the good guys all around. What a great coach, and blessed you are to have him. We'll be right back.